Hello everyone, this is Fosun. Today, share this effect of particles converging to the center. Effect. There is a similar vortex, and the overall number of particles is more. Here, I turned on the simplify option to reduce the number of particles, but there are actually still so many. It shows a little less, so it won't be so laggy when playing. Let's take a look. One is using a cylinder and material to emit in strands. Then, a constraint is used to create a collision and a bit of stickiness. In the middle area, there is a spiral, and then an attraction to the middle. Okay, this is the project. Then create a new one. Select the cylinder. Zoom in. Turn off the top cap. Here, you can make it a little more. Okay, that's about it. Click on the material. Select a new standard material. Drag it to it. Turn off these and leave the color. Select noise. Make it bigger and higher contrast. Lower the ratio here to make it look like this block. It's almost there. Make it a little bigger. The overall can be reduced by 1.800. Okay. It can be a little bigger. Also, it's almost done. Then go back to the window. Here is an animation preview. Turn it on to make it a little clearer. Okay, come back here. Open the animation speed here. When playing it, there will be some random disturbances. Or, select a particle system. Change it to object here. Push this in. And pull it here. Select the texture here. Then drag the material ball here. You can turn this off and only keep the emission channel. Okay, let's increase the number first to see. You can turn off the speed. Okay, pause. Then add an attraction to it. And put it in the middle. Change it to 64. Then add a rotation. Okay, rotate the direction. Then increase the value here a little bit. Select the star music and move it down a bit. Delete it. Let's use a cylinder here. Okay, rotate it 90 degrees. Then make it longer and bigger. The inside can be made slightly smaller. Okay, let's add a constraint to it. Here, select collision. Let's play it first to see. A little longer. Now, it has a kind of effect of gathering in the middle. And keep rotating. But the particles will accumulate more and more. It can be a small circle and gradually grow larger. So in this way, we can add a lifespan to the particles. About 60, let's see. Just let it rotate and disappear. This can basically maintain the size of the middle ring. Not here. Give the health value some randomness. If you want it to be more viscous, you can increase the viscosity and lower the weight, and reduce it here as well. You can see, now it has a sawdust-like, flocculent feeling. Let's see the difference. If you want the strip feeling to be more obvious, you can not add this viscosity. If you want a little flocculent feeling, you can add some of this viscosity. Then the speed here is too fast, so lower it a bit. This will make the filamentous connection better. But you can also increase the radius and increase the number. This will make the connection more integral. You can see that the strip feeling is much longer than before. Okay, let's compare. 13. You can see that these are all in sections. But after opening it up, it becomes a relatively complete strip, a long strip feeling. Okay, we can adjust the number of connections. Adjust the number of connections here, and the radius of the connection. Okay, this is our first layer. Double layer. Convergence layer. Because there is a plane at the bottom. To pad the bottom, so we can add another layer in the lower half. You can see here. The top is this kind of strip, and below are some more uniform ones. Okay, come back here. You can turn on the sound of the same system. Hold down the Ctrl key to copy one. Okay, let's copy this one too. This one can be made shorter. Okay, put it below. Turn off the top one first. Hide it. The material ball. Hold down the Ctrl key to duplicate one for it. Here, you can let it be random first. Different seeds are enough, so that the whole thing brighter. There is no need to have some obvious black areas. The area that does not emit light. Okay, select the object. Select the cube, not the cylinder. Drag it over and change it. Change the name to confirm that it is the cube we selected. Okay, let's drag the material over and take a look. Okay, this is the bottom part. For the bottom part like this, you cannot add this viscosity to make it have some. It's like a cushion on the bottom layer, so that some particles can always enter. And then match the top one. This will create particles at the bottom, and there will be some stripes on top, which are constantly rotating inward. Make it bigger. This will add some details. One layer is made of this strip. On the other layer, we can make the overall environment particles. Okay, this is the animation part for today. Let's go back and look at the rendering. There are also two collision bodies here. It's actually quite simple. For example, we put a ball here, or some other models, and right-click, and add a collision body here, and label. Shrink it a little, and reduce the elasticity here. Play. You can see that it now has this blocking effect. You can copy a few, mainly to increase the interest of the overall picture. Okay, this is the animation part. Let's look at the rendering. Here, we use a slightly colored render. Okay. First, turn off the others. Let's look at the main scene. This is a kind of. There is a gradient from yellow to purple. And then the color is connected to it. Nothing else has been changed. It's just a plane. There are also two lights used. One is the main light source directly in front. It's a bit blocked here. You can move it back a little. It should be the ring speaker. Just hide it. There is a relatively long light in front. As the main light, here is actually a. After lighting up here, this part here is darker. It's for lighting it up. You can see that the stones are relatively dark. This light is to illuminate it. You can make it darker. Just a little bit darker to see the texture here. It doesn't need to be particularly bright. Okay, let's open the example we have cached. Here, an is object is added. Add an object to the render. And here, we use 3 stones. Let's take a look. Okay, these are 3 stones. For the production of stones, here, select this stone. It will create a stone by default. You can move it to another place. You can adjust it, because we need to do particle substitution. So we don't need too many subdivision levels here. Too many will make the calculation more stuck. Okay. Adjust the shape roughly. For example, the center of gravity can be moved to the middle. The deformation can be made larger. And make its edges and corners more obvious. Okay, there is one. Then hold down the Ctrl key and drag it out. Modify the random seed value here. To get this parameter. Different stones below. Okay. Then lock it. Just drag the label down here. Because it has been dragged here, so I won't drag it in. Then just give this stone a material. Okay, one thing is that this material must be for the stone we are replacing. As you can see, the material here is for the stone that needs to replace the particle, not the emitter itself. This is something to note. Okay, we are using this material. And apply it to these stones themselves. Let's take a look at this material. The first point is that a noise texture is used. Okay, check it. This is a node that is not needed. You can see that by default. It is directly on the surface of each stone. There are some black and white dots, which are basically invisible. We need to change the source here to event, so that there will be a relatively overall black and white range. Pull it a little and increase the intensity of the contrast. You can make it darker. Okay, this is a black and white range. Then map a color to it. Here, I choose an orange, a brighter orange, and a purple. Then, we can map the color to the material. Okay, this is a relatively simple material, with a little roughness, similar to the material of plastic. Of course, you can adjust these to any color you like. This feels good. You can adjust the brightness to adjust the proportion of each color. Next, we need to give it a speed value here, because for this kind of is directly projected in the world. So the color is likely to be fixed in this range and will not change if we don't add animation to make it look more realistic. We can turn on the animation speed here. We can turn it on. For example, we previously set it to 3. It's 2. It can also be larger. The color. You can see that the color is different. There is a random perturbation in the color to simulate the particles, the feeling of the color being sucked in. Take a look. This is the bottom layer. The bottom layer. The bottom layer and the particle layer above is the same way, and also use the particle to replace it. Okay, and this is what we are going to learn today. One is, we use layers to make our particles into systems. One layer is the upper one, the strands on top. The other layer is the particles at the bottom. Okay, this is the animation of these two layers of particles. We use particle substitution for rendering. The material bowl should be assigned to the stone itself in the particle replacement, instead of the emitter. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.